Now, Manny has a lot of experience, at the highest level and competing at the highest level, and that makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you that himself.
He's older than me. I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind, because to get a different weight division is not that easy. I'm just saying this to repeat, you might forget that accomplishment. So to be the greatest boxer in the world is to know how to of course be compassionate and to show the people that you're really a fighter.
Well, I don't. Everybody, we all live our lives the way we want to live our lives. Everyone in this room have family, have friends. But when it comes to this, when it comes to boxing and competing and being the best, I'm not here to talk about what you did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about what nobody else did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about your personal.
The highly anticipated rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is picking up serious steam after their initial clash generated an astonishing $600 million mega event.
You know what's going on inside that square circle? I'm the best. No matter how you rate it, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, no matter if you go to 100 years back, 300 years back, all the way to now, there's only one best, and that's Floyd.
Pacquiao believes the timing couldn't be better for a second showdown with Floyd Mayweather. He emphasized that with Mayweather gearing up for a comeback from retirement and himself feeling sharp, healthy, and in peak fighting form, the conditions are finally aligned for them to settle unfinished business inside the ring.
Is now, 11 years after the first fight, why is now the right time for this rematch?
It just happened that I'm still active in boxing, and he come out from retirement, so and he decided to do it again. So this is it. Like I'm so excited for that.
Netflix has now officially announced the massive showdown between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, scheduled for September 19th, 2026. The confirmation has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, igniting excitement among fans who are already predicting a historic, record-shattering event.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao will rematch coming up this year, September 19th in Las Vegas at the Sphere. 11 years after their first fight in May of 2015, that still holds the record for the biggest pay-per-view of all time in the world of boxing and the biggest gate ever for a boxing event. But the platform is not Showtime Boxing, not Paramount Plus, not DAZN. The platform will be Netflix.
Their initial clash in 2015 was historic, often labeled the biggest bout in boxing history. It demolished pay-per-view and financial records, capturing worldwide attention as Floyd Mayweather secured a victory over Manny Pacquiao in Las Vegas. The event became more than just a fight. It turned into a cultural spectacle that transcended sports and spilled deep into mainstream entertainment.
11 years after their first fight in 2015, which, like I mentioned, is still the biggest pay-per-view to date in the world of boxing. The most pay-per-view buys, followed by Mayweather versus McGregor, as well as the biggest gate. And honestly, that first fight, I was there in person. I lived it. I followed Manny around pretty much the whole entire camp. The buzz and the buildup for it has still been unmatched. Even that fight week, the buzz and the buildup is still unmatched. Like the amount of press members that went to cover that fight that week, usually they set up a press room, and that press room was freaking packed the first day we got there, which was on a Tuesday. Still, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of fights, the biggest fights, and I've been doing this for a long time now. That's still the amount of attention, the amount of buzz has yet to be matched. In case you needed to be reminded, Manny and Floyd fought back in May of 2015 in what was literally, and this word gets used over and over again, fight of the century. All these other fights that have happened since this Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and they try to label themselves fight of the century, it's all cap. It doesn't matter. This literally, Mayweather and Pacquiao, the first fight, was the fight of the century. I got photos, I got videos, I got texts from people in San Diego, in other cities, waiting outside of bars. They were outside in the streets, huddled together, trying to watch the fight, not even in the bars, in the establishments. So that tells you like how big that fight was back in
Pacquiao shared that he gained valuable lessons from his first meeting with Floyd and feels that experience has sharpened him for the rematch. He noted that both of them are older and wiser now, and he's focused on preparing the right way while avoiding the mistakes and setbacks that surrounded their previous fight.
It's going to be a first-of-its-kind event. The last time you and Mayweather stepped into a ring, it was 2015, over a decade ago. Is there anything you can learn from that fight heading into September's bout?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot on that fight. Way back 2015, I think we become mature right now and how to handle it, and like, you know, I hope that it will not happen again, like the way it is last 2015. You know, it's the experience is like not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around no more excuses, especially to my condition and also for everything. Like I'm so excited and ready.
Manny Pacquiao has openly acknowledged that he stepped into the ring for the 2015 fight with Floyd Mayweather less than fully fit, revealing that a right shoulder injury sustained during training restricted his punching output and affected his overall performance.
You mentioned not being 100% the first time around. I think it was a shoulder, right? Was it a shoulder issue that you were fighting through, popped up during training? To the fans who are excited about this, but a little bit worried about another injury coming up, because we're all 11 years older than we were back in 2015. To them and their concerns, you say what?
Well, both of us are disciplined fighters, so him and me, we taking care of our body, and we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now, I still can fight. Like I feel like I'm still young. I mean, yeah. Nothing changed.
Floyd Mayweather has already stepped back into intense fight preparation, gearing up to end his 9-year retirement and return to competition later this year. He's been putting in serious work in the gym, even sharing training clips that show him sharpening his skills and getting back into peak condition.
Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. shared his thoughts on the potential Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch, suggesting that Netflix is investing in premium entertainment. According to Bradley, the bout is driven more by financial opportunity and spectacle than by true competitive stakes.
Yo, Tim that Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Look, I just got notice that Manny Pacquiao Mayweather about to go back at it in September. So a lot of guys coming out of retirement getting that Netflix money. Netflix is willing to pay for content, man, especially if you're popular. You know, they did Jake Paul. Jake Paul opened his damn door. Gotta give it up for him. He opened his door. And Mike Tyson. They've done other events as well. You know, Katie Taylor and Serrano as well. However, I was thinking De La Hoya was next. De La Hoya, you coming out of retirement? Clap back Thursdays. Nah, bring your ass out of retirement, big dog.
Rather than relying on the traditional pay-per-view format, Netflix's worldwide platform and massive subscriber base open the door to enormous commercial opportunities through new signups, sponsorship deals, merchandise sales, and global visibility, positioning the event as one of the most anticipated sporting spectacles of the year.
People say the biggest fight in boxing history, you know, if you don't adjust for inflation, et cetera, or tickets sold, et cetera. You know, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, the rematch, Ali and Frazier, the first fight. These were the biggest fights in boxing history. But Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time.
Sure.
Because it had 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right? It's interesting because Netflix is obviously in the business of, you said, eventizing.
Yes.
Everyone, they want enormous events that become shared experiences. In a way, in this day and age, partly because of delivery systems of content like Netflix, everything is so niche. You know, everything is so compartmentalized that there's very few shared experiences. It's one of the reasons that the NFL is such a big deal, because the NFL can get tens of millions of people to watch the same thing at the
Many fans and analysts feel that Floyd Mayweather's comeback is fueled more by business incentives than by a desire to prove himself athletically. Critics often reference his track record of lucrative exhibition bouts and his extravagant lifestyle, arguing that the motivation appears centered on securing massive payouts rather than chasing competitive glory.
Gambling problem. Of course, his situation's unstable. I mean, this is about as predictable as anything I could imagine. Steve, how old is Floyd at this point?
47, and he has not had a real fight since 2015 when he beat Berto. Then he had the foray against Conor McGregor 2017, and he's done some exhibitions. And I don't know if you know this, Jason, but he actually made an official announcement with the press release. I'm unretiring. Get this. After my exhibition with Mike Tyson in April.
I heard this, yeah.
So that's in the Congo, Rumble in the Jungle Part 2. But yeah, it's for the money. If you, just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. And why is he doing?
Mayweather is currently entangled in a significant legal battle concerning his finances, with claims targeting former business partners and promotional associates. Reports indicate that he has filed lawsuits alleging that his longtime advisor, Al Heyman, and Showtime Sports orchestrated a scheme that cost him hundreds of millions of dollars, prompting Mayweather to seek restitution and damages through the courts.
A couple of things, if you look at the article on Boxing Scene, something doesn't smell right about it. A couple of things that don't smell right is it's 10 years after the fact. There are an army of attorneys, lawyers, accountants making sure boxers get paid at Floyd's level. And the idea that Floyd could be in a position where he's starting to run out of money and is looking for a reason that this money isn't his anymore. Paulie, what the first thing that jumps out at you about this amount, about the timing, about everything about this lawsuit, what jumps to your mind first, Paulie, when you think about it, as a boxer on the inside?
What jumps to my mind first is probably the beginning is the 10 years later.
Yeah, same.
I'm very curious about, you know, I don't want to say the veracity, because obviously that's the strong word to use in this situation, because this may or may not.
Meanwhile, Rayleigh Romero has weighed in on the Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch chatter, echoing a common sentiment among fighters and influencers that Floyd Mayweather is likely to come out on top again. Though Romero hasn't faced either legend himself, his confidence in Floyd reflects a broader belief that Mayweather's defensive genius and ring experience make him a formidable challenge for Pacquiao, particularly at this stage in their careers. High-profile voices like Conor McGregor share this view, also predicting a Mayweather victory in the 2026 rematch. Fans see this as part of the narrative that, even with the bout heavily driven by entertainment and commercial appeal, Mayweather's strategic style and unbeaten record give him the edge.
Huge announcement that's come today, official now. Floyd Mayweather returns to the ring against Manny Pacquiao in the rematch. What did you think about that fight?
I don't think anyone was expecting that, was they? Seems like things can happen very quickly.
Was it correct that you were in talks with Manny Pacquiao at one point? How far did they get?
I mean, you didn't see Sean Gibbons and called me out like I don't know how many times and all that stuff, right? It just, it's complicated.
Oscar De La Hoya recently offered his prediction for the Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch, confidently picking Mayweather to win. He praised Floyd's unmatched defensive skills, noting how his ability to evade punches and dictate the fight's tempo has made him nearly untouchable over the years. De La Hoya also highlighted Mayweather's ring IQ, emphasizing how Floyd expertly reads opponents and capitalizes on their weaknesses with pinpoint timing and precision.
The thing about Mayweather you have to understand is he's always taking care of himself, like, his body, physically, mentally. He's always been very sharp and always staying in the gym and doing something physically, right? That's the big advantage he has. I mean, he's an athlete. He's a world-class athlete. Watching Pacquiao's last fight, yeah, you kind of feel bad. You kind of feel bad for him, and even though he did win and he did, I guess, pull off a surprise in his last fight with a draw against the world champion, but still, you tend to kind of like feel bad because it's not the same Pacquiao. It's definitely not the same Pacquiao I faced. That's for sure. The one that put me on my stool in the 9th round.
Beyond his skill set, De La Hoya pointed to Mayweather's vast experience at the sport's highest levels as a game-changing advantage. Having faced the elite repeatedly, Floyd adapts flawlessly in the ring, while Pacquiao remains a legendary fighter with remarkable speed and power. De La Hoya believes that Mayweather's mix of defensive mastery, strategic thinking, and veteran-savvy positions him as the clear favorite to claim victory once more.
If they make it a real fight with the real rules, then yeah, it's an okay night for boxing.
Who would you back? Who do you think would win it? If it's a real fight, because that's what Pacquiao wants, it seems.
Yeah, I think Mayweather will. I think Mayweather.
David Benavidez has never shied away from speaking frankly about boxing's biggest stories. On Pacquiao's return and the potential Mayweather rematch, he would likely honor Pacquiao's legendary status, but question how effective he can be at this stage. Fans still love seeing Pacquiao in the ring, but at 47, age inevitably takes its toll, and he's no longer the same force. Meanwhile, Mayweather's unmatched movement, ring intelligence, and unbeaten record give him a significant advantage.
About there's reports saying that Floyd may do a professional fight.
What did you say?
There's word that potentially Floyd might come out and do a professional fight.
Oh yeah?
What's your thoughts on it, as a fan?
I mean, as a fan, I feel like I see what they're doing. They see like the influencers just turned it into like, I'm not gonna say a whole circus show, but I feel like they see if these people can come in here and make all this money, then why can't the legends of boxing do that? I feel like they're all the legends of boxing looking at that. And I don't have a problem with them coming back and fighting, but I mean, it's not as exciting as it once was, you know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather, but who is he gonna fight? I mean, unless he fights Pacquiao again, I would love to see that.
How do you think a Pacquiao-Floyd rematch would go?
I don't know, but I would love to see it. I mean, if Floyd Mayweather is still who he is, I think Floyd Mayweather will win, but I don't know, we have to see. You know, they're both older guys. I think Floyd is 50, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect in any type of way, but he's a 50-year-old man, you know what I mean? Pacquiao is a 48-year-old man.
Like Benavidez, many boxing analysts contend that there's little sporting reason for a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, given that their first fight produced a clear, unanimous winner. Mayweather dominated the bout and claimed a unanimous decision on all three judges' scorecards, leaving little doubt about who was superior that night. Critics also note that, despite the massive commercial success, the original fight fell short of the competitive drama fans hoped for, with Mayweather's defensive brilliance largely neutralizing Pacquiao's offense. Considering the decisive outcome and the ages of both fighters, many commentators argue that a second clash isn't necessary from a purely sporting perspective, even if the financial stakes are enormous.
On one end, the cynical side of me goes, wait, what? Why? They fought the first time, okay? Like that chapter was closed. We got a definitive winner. It was Floyd. Floyd definitively won. The fight wasn't as competitive as we all thought it was. And that's that, right? Even though Manny did say after the fight that he suffered a shoulder injury prior to that, and that he couldn't really use his shoulder too much. But, you know, it's a strange time that we're in right now in boxing with some of these fights that we're getting. The reason why I'm a little mixed is, yeah, you know, that's the cynical side of me, but the other side of me is a little bit partial to Manny in terms of what I just listed right there with the shoulder injury. You know, he went into that fight with the biggest pay-per-view of all time, the biggest probably viewing audience of all time in terms of a fight, and that wasn't the best Manny.
Veteran analyst Simon Jordan also dismissed the notion that a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch holds genuine sporting intrigue. He argued that the first fight already produced a decisive outcome, with Mayweather convincingly winning on the scorecards. Jordan observed that Pacquiao's recent performances suggest he's nearing the end of his career, while Mayweather has mostly participated in exhibition bouts rather than meaningful competition. In his view, the event is driven more by business than by boxing, with platforms like Netflix treating sport as entertainment, investing in headline-grabbing events to attract subscribers and generate publicity. With hundreds of millions of users globally, even a modest spike in subscriptions can justify the enormous financial outlay. Jordan concluded, the fight will spark conversation and strong viewership, but commercially rather than competitively, as modern promoters prioritize audience interest and spectacle over pure sporting necessity.
Floyd's unbeaten record and the professional status of the bout add any intrigue to this at all?
No, not really. I don't think so. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's had a fight recently, hasn't he, against Mario Barris, who's just lost his title to Ryan Garcia, deservedly so. And that was a draw in which most people saw Pacquiao at the end of his career, saw what was left of him, and were not too happy that he came back again. Floyd Mayweather has had a variety of different bouts. I mean, I hear that he's going to fight Mike Tyson. I don't understand what that thinking is. Or an exhibition. We've seen him fight and hold up Conor McGregor in an exhibition fight. It's Netflix building entertainment models around sport. Sport is entertainment. It crosses over. Netflix have got a proven model of success that ultimately they invest some money into these sort of things, whether it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson or Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. They'll look at their lifetime value of their average subscriber, not every subscriber, but their average subscriber, and then they multiply it by the amount of subscribers they think they're going to get as new ones, and they make a commercial.
Pacquiao recently commented on the buzz surrounding Floyd Mayweather's exhibition with Mike Tyson and their upcoming rematch. He acknowledged Tyson's power, noting that any fighter would have to respect someone with his knockout ability. But when discussing Mayweather, Pacquiao sounded confident rather than worried. He stressed that he's preparing for a real fight, not an exhibition, and is focused on making history by handing Mayweather his first professional defeat. While he respects Tyson's power, Pacquiao's attention is firmly on Floyd, believing that his experience, skill, and dedication give him the edge in their long-awaited rematch.
Who will win, Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather?
It depends. If Mike Tyson will train hard, then.
Do you think it will happen?
Just one punch.
We thought you were fighting Floyd. What happened with the Floyd fight? We thought you were fighting with Floyd. What happened in the rematch? We thought you were having a rematch with Floyd.
Oh, just we'll see.
Who would win, Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather? It really depends, especially on whether Tyson comes in fully trained and ready. Will it even happen? With one punch, anything is possible. And what about the Floyd fight? What happened with that rematch? Tyson's response? We'll see. We'll announce stuff. As for Pacquiao versus Mayweather, can Pacquiao pull off an upset? Or is Mayweather's legendary defense too much to overcome? Share your predictions in the comments below.